When a show's been on the air for a long time, it sees some of its stars come and go. NCIS is no exception. The good thing about it, though, is that they always leave a window open in case an actor wants to return. Well, Michael Weatherly just teased a huge Tony and Ziva reunion, and it's got fans buzzing. In this video, we'll be telling you all about his little hints on Twitter. First off, his New Year's video. Being an NCIS fan comes with a ton of perks, one of which is how the actors are vocal about their love for the show, even after they leave the series. Weatherly is super active on Twitter and is always updating fans with his thoughts and snippets from his routine. New Year was no different. He posted a video with music playing in the background while giving some advice for 2023. He said that we'd explore what the year holds for us, and it doesn't matter what you did in 2022. This year, the world is your oyster. Then, of course, he caught himself being poetic and asked fans to just enjoy themselves, throw a party, and be with their loved ones. You know, all the good stuff. He even asked himself the question about what to expect for this year. That's where things get spicy. People in the replies were asking him about what they should expect. New projects, a possible return of Special Agent Tony DiNozzo. Keep in mind, this is stuff that he's been teasing way before his New Year wish. We'll get to that in a bit. Up next, the exciting quote retweet. Maybe it was wishful thinking, but hey, wishes do come true. A fan replied to Michael's video, saying that we'd all rather see him and Ziva reuniting and enjoying their moment together. Lo and behold, the actor replied. He quote retweeted it by saying that we'd stay tuned. This might be an interesting year for these types of moments. Obviously, this blew up. With 3,000 likes and counting, it looks like Weatherly almost confirmed every NCIS fan's dream. Without a doubt, Tony and Ziva's dynamic was a fan favorite. The guy had killer dynamics with everybody, but their relationship? Chef's kiss. The replies flooded quicker than a blink of an eye. Mitch LaFon, a famous singer, even replied, telling Michael to bring it on. It's safe to say we're all more than ready to see this in 2023. Another fan said that they're hoping to see this comeback since the two of them are the characters they miss the most after Gibbs. The current mix of characters isn't keeping their interests. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but the fact that almost none of the OG cast is still in the show is something to consider. That being said, some fans aren't believing this is solid, concrete evidence. One person wrote that they're not buying it until they see it in the headlines. Using the word might is too much of a tease. Just confirm it already, CBS. We know Weatherly's more than down to come back. We want him to. And now, why a TEVA reunion would be great. Let's take a walk down memory lane, shall we? If there's one thing this show will do, it will give its characters a compelling arc. TEVA makes the list. Tony and Ziva reuniting would be powerful, especially given how their story ended. He had discovered that she had died in a mortar accident. This happened in his last episode, but he also discovered that she had given birth to Tally a few years earlier. After DiNozzo left the show, we'd learned that she'd faked her death to avoid Sahar, who wanted her dead. She was played by Cote de Pablo, and she last appeared in a recurring role in season 17. So here are two star-crossed lovers, one of which thinks the other is dead. He took off to Paris with Tally, and the whole time she was alive. If they reunite, it's going to result in a lot of drama. We're sure both parties have a lot of unanswered questions. Now is as good a time as any to show us what we've been asking for on screen. If a three-way crossover between NCIS, Hawaii, and LA is possible, this should be too. Coming up, the possibilities. Weatherly is still a little fresh off Bull, the show he starred in after leaving NCIS. So far, he's relatively free. There's been no news of any upcoming project of his, so it's safe to say the guy is taking his sweet time off network television. That being said, Stephen D. Binder, the procedural showrunner, said in early 2022 that the actor might want to take a little time off before considering coming back. When it comes to a potential Tony DiNozzo return, Binder has discussed it with him over the years, but as of now, we aren't completely sure an appearance is going to happen. Given his tweets, we're sure that he wants the same thing we do. Back in December, he tweeted about an experience he had at a sushi restaurant. Well, it's a made-up one, but it's something. When the waitress asked what he wanted next, he said he'd throw in another round of DiNozzo for good measure. It makes sense why fans are on the fence about his recent tweet. The man has been tweeting these teasers for so long. Here's hoping this one's the real thing. Following up, how Michael kept in touch with co-stars. With talk of a TEVA reunion, what's better than just DiNozzo? Yep, his relationships with the rest of the cast. If this comes true, we might just see him interact with other cast members as well. That's always exciting. After his exit, he kept in touch with a lot of his colleagues. Polly Perrette wrote him a sweet birthday message in 2021, and he teamed up with her and Brian Dietzen for Project Angel Food. The three of them handed out food to those in need, and it was heartwarming to see. What's more is, he even had Sasha Alexander direct an episode of Bull. Their behind-the-scenes pics just prove that they're still as close. Well, let's hope he can make new memories with old friends, this time with Cote de Pablo in the the mix. Now, let's look at how she left NCIS on much better terms the second time around. Firstly, why she left in season 11. Ziva's been a fan favorite for a while. DePablo isn't an original cast member, but the fanbase grew to love her like crazy. We couldn't get enough of her flirty banter with Denozo and her mentor-mentee relationship with Gibbs. This went on for 8 seasons until she suddenly left in season 11. After she left, a lot of other popular characters did too. Back in 2013, she walked away from the show for unknown reasons. Only 2 episodes of the 11th season were out at the time. Her character was supposedly killed off screen, and nobody had a clue why that happened. That is, until 3 years later. The actress did a Q&A session publicly where she talked about her reasons. Turns out she left because she didn't agree with the scripts. She said that a multitude of factors led to her decision. Political situations for one. She went on to say that she adores Ziva. She put a lot of heart and soul into bringing her to life, and she wasn't going to sit back and watch the writers take her storyline in a different direction. The direction in question is that they were planning to send her back to Israel to make her an unfortunate, miserable woman. She felt that her role wasn't getting the respect it deserved, and she wasn't able to stand the injustice. Up next, the second time's the charm. Fortunately, things didn't always stay that way. Before she returned and surprised everyone, she clarified her terms and conditions. She said she'd only consider coming back if Ziva's storyline was handled better, and that's a pretty fair request. Of course, she got what she asked for. She came back for 4 episodes in season 17 as a recurring character. After this happened, she talked about how her words had been misconstrued before. According to Hello magazine, DePablo felt that her words were taken way out of context when she explained her reasons for leaving NCIS the first time. She felt that people started making up reasons to justify the fact that she had left. She then clarified that she didn't leave because she was tired or that she wanted to go. Like she said before, she loved Ziva. It was just that they weren't doing her justice, and that left her with no choice. Good on her because she took a stand and got what she wanted. Plus, in an interview with Build Series, she said that she was super excited to shoot her first scene when she came back. It was just a tiny one at the end of season 16, but she was so jittery and nervous. That's pretty normal if you haven't seen the set, the crew, or the cast members in a while. Thankfully, she did amazing. Last but not least, Cote DePablo's life after NCIS. Her return was awesome, but very brief. Obviously, it left fans yearning for more. The entire arc where she had to fake her own death, everyone was hooked. She hasn't revisited her character since, and fans are hoping for a Tony and Ziva reunion soon. In fact, the entire OG cast isn't there anymore. We just have Sean Murray as McGee and Brian Dietzen as Jimmy Palmer. At the end of the day, the OGs made the show into what it is now. The actress herself maintains a very private life. After NCIS, she hasn't been seen or confirmed for any more projects. There aren't any credits on IMDb since then, so it looks like she's set on living life away from the camera. As much as we respect her decision, we hope she makes an exception for the heavily hinted at reunion with Denozo. In the late 2010s, she was interviewed by the Build Series YouTube channel. They asked her about her brief return to the crime procedural, and in the discussion, she mentioned that she's very private about her life. Well, that's all for this video. Do you think the Tony and Ziva reunion is going to happen? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. See you in the next video.